Hello there, podcast fans, Trekkies, and all those who enjoy a good old-fashioned quiz, and welcome to this second series of TrekkerMind, aka Star Trek Mastermind. I am your regular host and quizmaster, Captain Michael Michelson, just a joke for all of the other nerdy, older Mastermind fans out there. I am here today to tell you a little bit about the first episodes that we recorded for this series, because as per usual, we made plans and God laughed, so do excuse us as we explain things. So if you are unfamiliar, Mastermind would usually be something where there would be 3 contestants who take part in each heat. And then the winning contestant from each heat goes through to a grand final. Unfortunately, we did have 3 contestants planned for this episode, Rick, of course, was the champion of the first series of TrekkerMind back last year. But unfortunately, it does mean that he's had to forfeit his position in this first particular heat. And unfortunately, that means we will, one way or another, have a brand new TrekkerMind champion this year, which I suppose is at least a bit of interest. It also means that this first episode, as has happened in the past, with scheduling and things, we've not been able to accommodate all 3 contestants. And so this first round will only be 2 people going head to head. But fear not, this is the only episode where that is going to be the case. We have everyone on board for all the others, and they're already recorded and in the bag, so that's no problem. Nevertheless, you will really enjoy these 2 contestants that are here today competing, that being, Lady Vean and DK. If you aren't familiar with Mastermind, it is a British game show where essentially it breaks down into 2 rounds. The first round is on a specialist subject, which was chosen by the contestant. Obviously, in this case, that is a specialist area of Star Trek knowledge. They get 2 minutes to answer questions. They can pass as many times as they want, and the only time that becomes relevant is if it's a tie score, and then the player with the fewest passes would be the winner. The second round works in much the same way, except it's just thrown open to all kinds of general knowledge, all series and movies, any kind of nature of question, whether it be storylines, geeky things, etc. So the contestants get 2.5 minutes, a little bit longer for that one. And again, they have to answer as many as they can. They can pass, but again, passes would count if it's a tie score at the end. So yeah, with all of that out of the way, do sort of settle down. Hopefully enjoy the episode. It's fairly self-explanatory. Once you get into it, you will it'll flow over you, and it'll be hopefully quite enjoyable. So without any further gubbins from me, engage. Contestant, please, if you would like to step up to the virtual black leather chair. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, no problem at all. What is your name or your handle, and where are you coming to us from today, if you don't mind us saying?
Lady Vean, as some of you may know me as your Cardassian queen. For the purposes of this show, you may refer to me as Vean. And I am generally in California, but today I am hailing from Virginia.
Fantastic. And we have a sort of transatlantic conversation going on here as I'm contacting you from England per my usual home. So it's unseasonably hot here today. So, but I'm ready. I've got my timer. I'm a 1-person show here with all of my notes and timers and questions, but we're ready to go. So the only other question is that obviously with the first round being specialist subject rounds, what did you pick for your specialist subject?
Cardassian trivia.
Ah, yes, Cardassians. Surprising, I think, nobody. So there we go. So you're familiar with the rules. We went over it. So you know you've got 2 minutes for this first round, yeah?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Right, if you're ready, the time will start as soon as I say so. Right, your time starts now.
Go.
Question 1. What's Garak's first name?
Elam.
Correct. Which character is killed when Starfleet retakes DS9 from the Dominion early in Season 6?
Ziol.
Correct. Upon Cardassia's entry into the Dominion, who was made head of the new Cardassian government?
Dukat.
Correct. In Tears of the Prophets, which Cardassian star system is taken by the Federation Alliance?
Oh, fuck. Pass. I know it, but pass.
Fair enough. For what reason is Damar promoted to Gull in 2373?
Oh, he took down the minefield.
Correct. When the Cardassians rebelled against the Dominion, who was sent by Starfleet to train the rebel troops in guerrilla tactics?
Kira.
Correct. What supposed message did Sisko leave in his office for Dukat to find, indicating that he planned to be back soon?
Baseball.
Correct. What's the name of the captain who began attacking Cardassians in the Next Generation episode, The Wounded?
Gold Mayset.
Don't know what's the name of the Starfleet captain who began attacking the Cardassians.
Oh, the Starfleet captain. Oh,
that's correct.
It was the Wounded?
Yeah.
Was it Picard?
It was not. It was Captain Benjamin Maxwell.
Okay.
Which episode of Lower Decks begins with the Cerritos heading to Cardassia Prime for a peace conference that is ultimately moved as the Cardassians are creeping everybody out?
The second episode.
It's not. It's Temporal Edict, which I believe is like the 5th or 6th. What's the name of the Cardassian Ghoul who was a friend of Damar and instrumental in the formation of his resistance, though ultimately killed by him for his racist attitude toward Kira?
Rusat.
Correct. Wow. What's the name of the part Cardassian Federation president in the late 32nd century?
I don't know, but she's hot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't think you'd know that. With who did the Cardassian agent Seska conceive a child in the early 2370s?
Supposedly Chakotay, but it was actually Kulla.
It was Color. I will give you that. And since I started, I finished off that question. I'll just dismiss the red alert there. So that round has come to a close. At the end of that round, Vean, you scored 8 points with 2 passes, which is very respectable. Just to go over those 2 passes for you then, you passed on the Cardassian system that was taken by the Federation. Has it come to you, or?
I'm going to know it as soon as you say it.
It's the Chintoka system.
Yeah, fuck. Okay.
And the name of the part Cardassian Federation president in Discovery is Lara Rilak. And
no.
yeah.
She's a babe.
I can't give you a point for she's hot, but she is an attractive woman. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
this thing. All Cardassian women are hot. It's just a thing.
Fair enough. Right, well, if you'd like to take your seat back, and could our next contestant please step up to the intimidating virtual black leather chair? Hello, contestant. What is your name or handle? And if you don't mind, where are you contacting us from today?
I am DK, and I'm contacting you from Spain.
From Spain. Another international phone caller. Having just spoken to the USA, to Virginia, I'm now contacting Spain. So truly a multinational experience here. The spirit of Star Trek surely at play. But yeah. So you know that round 1 is your specialist subject round. So yeah, I just have to ask, what is your specialist subject?
My specialist subject is the Star Trek original series movies 1, 2, 6.
Fantastic. That's correct. Yeah, that's what I have down, thankfully. So just as well that we're ready with those questions. So you know that you've got 2 minutes to answer questions on this particular round. And you know, if you give an incorrect answer, I'll tell you the correct. If you pass, we'll just go over the passes at the end. So yeah, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. Go on.
Right. So your time for round 1 starts now. Which monitor station first detects the destructive force in the motion picture?
Epsilon 9.
Correct. Gene Roddenberry only wrote the novelization of 1 Star Trek film. Which one was it?
The motion picture.
Correct. To which Klingon penal colony are Kirk and Bones sent in Star Trek 6?
Ruripente.
Correct. From what planet is the Enterprise ordered to rescue hostages in Star Trek 5?
Nimbus 3.
Correct. What race was Lieutenant Ilea?
Delton.
Correct. Who composed the score for Star Trek The Motion Picture?
Jerry Goldsmith.
Correct. Ignore that. What's the name of the shapeshifter who Kirk and McCoy encounter on Ruripente?
Oh, pass.
Pass, okay. What class of starship served as an unsuccessful test bed for transwarp tech in the late 23rd
Excelsior.
century? Correct. Didn't even let me finish, but yeah.
I've just remembered the bloody Iman one as well. Oh,
too late now. What's the name of the Klingon taken prisoner by Kirk and Co. as they commandeer a bird of prey in Star Trek 3?
Maltz.
Correct. First name Chocolate. Who was named Klingon Chancellor after the assassination of Gorkon in Star Trek 6?
His daughter, I forget the name. Shit.
Do you want to pass?
Pass, yeah, pass.
Okay. What does Spock reveal to Kirk about Spock's Kobayashi Maru test?
Pass.
Pass, okay. Khan exclaims that he will chase Kirk round the moons of Nibia and around what maelstrom?
No. Antares.
Is correct. Just under the wire there, just before the red alert sounds. Nightmare to try and get hold of this thing. So then, DK, at the end of that round, you scored 9 points with 3 passes. You did really well. You were flying at the start there, so yeah. Not a bad first round at all. Just to go over those passes in case anybody's playing along at home. A shapeshifter that Kirk and McCoy encounter, you said it probably came to you. You know, they were played by Iman. Do you want to tell us?
Martia.
It's Martia.
As soon as I said pass, it went, no, Martia, you dick.
Has the name of Chancellor Gokon's daughter come to you yet?
Azet-Bo.
It is Azet-Bo, you see?
I know.
Man.
I know.
You would have known these. And finally, what does Spock reveal to Kirk about the Kobayashi Maru test? Any ideas?
I'm still going to pass on that one.
Yeah, he reveals he never took it.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, God. See, audience, this is what pressure does to you.
Well, at the end of that round, you scored 9 points, and Vean only scored 8 in her first round, so you are currently beating her at least. So, yeah, if you'd like to go and take your seat, we'll call you up for round 2 when we are ready. That's a very good performance in round 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, we begin the general knowledge round number 2, and Vean, if you'd like to step back up to the chair, please.
I'm here.
Awesome. How's it going? How are you?
I want more Cardassian questions. I like it.
So, yeah, suffice to say that you are a big fan of the Cardassians in general.
There's a reason I'm their queen.
So, do you have a favorite Cardassian episode? I don't know if I've ever asked you that.
Oh, God. Well, it depends on which character we're talking about. I think In the Pale Moonlight is probably one of the best episodes of Star Trek of any series of all time. And that features, very heavily Garrick, and also has Damar, but there's no Ducat in that one. And I have to tell you, I adore Enoch Brentane. So,
okay, so
any episode with him, and I just love I know The Wire is a really popular one. It's not in my top ones, but the scene between him and Dr. Bashir is so brilliant.
It is, yeah. I'd be here all day, but I can never remember the title of the episode, but the one where the Cardassian guy fakes that he is the kind of war criminal, and it turns out he's not. He was like a low-level clerk and gets killed for it. Yes, that was it. I can never remember
Harris Yulin deserved an Emmy for that performance.
Yeah, definitely. It was a fantastic ep. I also love Waltz, which is another fantastic ep. Could have been a play.
Here's the thing. That's what I was just about. You read my mind. Oh, my God. Waltz is what got me to watch Deep Space Nine.
Wow.
My ex, it was his favorite Star Trek series, and I had never been able to get into it. I tried when it aired. I tried multiple times. And he was watching it when it came on Netflix, and I'd be walking through the room, and there's, Alexander Siddig doing some terrible acting, and then there's something stupid going on, and I couldn't get into it. And it had snowed, and we were stuck in the house, and he had gotten to the episode Waltz, and I was like, this is like watching live theater. This is incredible. That episode is so incredible. So
good. 2 people, and literally that's it. Just 2 people playing off each other. But yeah, fantastic stuff. So in the first round anyway, then, which was all about Cardassians, you scored 8 points. So how do you think you're going to do on the general knowledge round? Are you equally as confident? Or?
No, because I haven't watched almost any of the new stuff. And what I have watched, I've only seen like maybe once when it aired. So I haven't done a lot of...
Well, try your best. I mean, having a quick glance at them, the questions aren't tailored for any one person, so they are just random. Some of them are quite geeky sort of knowledge. Some of them are obvious kind of plot points and things, but do your best, and you know that you can just say pass if there's any you're unsure of and you don't want to take a shot.
But in my defense, I just want to, for the record, I did win first place in a huge Star Trek trivia on the cruise in 2018.
Awesome.
So I can usually kick ass, but I'm not sure I'm going to today. So,
well, we'll see. You do get a little bit longer, as I said, for this round. So you've got 2.5 minutes. So you can take a little bit of time if you want to think about something, maybe. Though I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that. But yeah. So do your best and confident. Got to be confident going into it. So are you all set? And I'll get ready to start the timer.
Okay.
Okay. So general knowledge. Your time starts now. What class of starship is Captain Will Riker's original USS Titan?
Pass.
Okay. Which DS9 episode is the first to feature the USS Defiant?
Oh, fuck. Don't ask
What's
me
it called?
Starship questions. Pass.
Who was Captain Kirk's nemesis at Starfleet Academy?
Oh my god. I don't know. Pass.
You pass. Okay. What's Chief O'Brien's middle name?
Edward.
Correct. The Voyager episode Flashback reveals that Tuvok served under which classic captain during the events of Star Trek VI?
Sulu.
Correct. In the Enterprise incident, what species does Kirk have himself surgically altered to look like?
Klingon.
It's Romulan. Sorry.
Oh, right. Eyebrows.
What class name is given to the various runabouts in Vista D Space Nine?
What class name?
Class name, yeah.
Runabouts have classes?
They do.
Fuck if I know.
I'll just call that a pass. So, which creator of the EMH program appeared in the DS9 episode Dr. Bashir, I presume?
Oh, Zimmerman.
Correct. What Federation colony is destroyed at the start of the Best of Both Worlds?
Colony?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pass.
Okay. Fair enough. What's the full name of the only survivor from the Amagosa Observatory in Star Trek Generations?
Oh god. I can see him. From Clockwork Orange. Hang on. Soren.
Full name?
I have to have his full name?
Yeah, please.
I don't know his full name. Dr. Napoleon Soren.
That's correct. Wow, okay. What are the first names of the Duras sisters?
Oh my god, these are so easy and I'm so tired. Laura and Betor.
Lursa and Betor. I can't give you that, I'm afraid.
Lursa and Betor, that's what I said.
Fair enough. What's the title of the only two-part episode of the original series?
Don't know, pass.
Pass, okay. What was the name of Kirk's lover in his Nexus fantasy?
Antonia.
Correct. Which two-part episode of Next Generation saw a guest appearance by DS9's Dr. Bashir?
Oh, I don't know. I remember that episode, but I don't know the name.
You can't remember the title?
No.
Well, that was the last question because the timer went. Okay, so...
I failed. That was pitiful.
It wasn't the worst performance we've ever had or the worst thing in the world, considering how unconfident you were going into it. You did score 5 points at the end of that round, but with 7 passes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to go over them? I kind of have to, I guess, for the audience.
I'm so jet lagged, Mike. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. I'm jet lagged.
If it's any consolation, I think DK is in a similar mood, so he's probably not going to do fantastically either. But yeah. So the first question you passed was, what class of ship is the original USS Titan? It's a lunar class. The first DS9 episode to feature the Defiant was The Search Part 1.
Oh, see, I knew that, and I could not think of the title. I did know that one.
Just couldn't place it, yeah. I knew you would have known that as well, so anyway. You were asked who was Captain Kirk's nemesis at Starfleet Academy. The answer is Finnegan.
Yeah, not a clue.
Yeah. What class name is given to the runabouts in service to DS9? They are Danube class runabouts.
I didn't even know. See, I don't know about ships. I will lose at ship trivia all day long because I'm not a ship nerd. And all I know is Voyager's the prettiest ship. It still is. And the one in First Contact was hideous. That's what I know.
A lot of people that are fans of the Enterprise E just throwing things at their screens. We'll move on. The next question that you passed was, which Federation colony was destroyed at the start of Best of Both Worlds? That was Jure 4. That's probably a tricky question, but I just know that episode so bloomin' well off by heart that sticks in my brain anyway. You got Toli and Soren in the end. The Duras sisters, of course, were Lursa and Betor, which you kind of got.
Oh, that totally counts. You're going to go back and listen when you're editing, and you're going, oh, that is what she said. And you're going to give me that point, Mike. You're going to give me that point. I
may well. We shall see. But yeah. There's only 2 more. The other one, what was the title of the only 2-part episode of the original series? It was The Menagerie. And
you know what? I did know that. Fuck. Now that you say it, I'm like, oh, right. Okay, go ahead.
And yeah, the next gen episode with a guest appearance by Dr. Bashir was Birthright, parts 1 and 2.
I'm sorry. I hate Data and I hate Dr. Bashir.
Oh.
So there was no way I was ever going to get that one.
I cannot believe you. Those are two of my favorite characters right there.
Well, you also like the Klingon, so, there's no accounting for taste.
I don't love the Klingons, don't get me wrong. I'm more of a Vulcan person, but not the Enterprise ones. Those are rubbish. We're getting lost in the weeds. But yeah, so at the end of that, then your final score for both rounds is obviously 13 points, possibly 14 when we review the footage.
14. Lower decks. Hey, there were no lower decks questions in that.
I write all the questions myself, so unfortunately you only have me to blame for them.
Hence the ship questions. I get it.
A couple of them, yeah. I felt really bad because I don't know why I insisted on full name for Dr. Tolian Soren, but you did get it anyway, so phew. Yeah.
I was stuck on the actor's name, and I couldn't get his name, but it came to me.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
So then, we are ready for round 2 for you, TK, if you'd like to take another seat in the intimidating chair.
Okay.
So, DK, you're a fan of those first 6 Star Trek movies then?
That's pretty safe to say, yeah.
Yeah, in the words of Fry from Futurama, 6 movies that average out to be pretty good.
Yes.
And not to put you on the spot, but do you have a favourite out of those 6?
It's always 2. Always 2. I mean, 6 is close, but it will always be 2.
Those are good choices, I have to say, good choices. Well, this is normally where I would ask sort of questions about the general Trek sort of history of my contestants and stuff, but we host a podcast together. If at this point, there's nothing we don't already know about each other.
This is true. And just so you know, audience, by the time this score finishes, you will know this isn't fixed in my favour.
Yes, I should clarify, DK has no idea about these questions. They are all written by me. Nobody gets them in advance. And yeah, so if you have any problem with the questions, blame me, because there's only me to blame, I suppose. But yeah, so your specialist subject round, you obviously scored 9 points. You know that this is the general knowledge round. Are you equally confident? Or
Not in the least.
Yeah, Vean said something very similar. Yeah, for her second round, obviously, as you know. So
my Trek knowledge is good, but it's good on the Trek movies 1 to 6, and that's about as far as my memory can reach.
Well, as I say, as I was saying to Vean, the general knowledge questions I tried to make as broad as possible. Some of them are going to seem blindingly easy. Some might be quite geeky deep dives, and some might just be obvious plot points and such. But do your best. You can always pass if you need to. And yeah, just for the sake of clarity, Vean scored 5 in her general knowledge round, despite having the extra 30 seconds. She scored 5, arguably 6. She argues, because I actually asked her the question, as you heard, the name of the Klingon Duras sisters, and I swear I heard Laura and Bator. She's adamant that she gave the correct answer, so we'll take that one to a steward's inquiry, but she scored either 5 or 6 for a final score of either 13 or 14. If you're ready, I've got the general knowledge questions, and hopefully you have the answers. You all set?
Yeah, let's go.
Just getting around going, right. Do you have an angry budgie in your house or something?
It just seems like there's a flock of murmurating birds outside my window, but they're actually just trying to twat each other, I think.
Gotcha. Well, we'll ignore that for now then, and we'll take it to the next round. And your time, are you ready?
Yep.
Starts now. What species is Spock?
Vulcan.
He's actually a Vulcan-human hybrid. I knew that would catch someone out. What's the name of Sulu's daughter who serves on the Enterprise B?
Demora.
Correct. Name Spock's fiancée seen in Strange New Worlds and the original series.
T'Pring.
Correct. Which Ferris Bueller actor plays Enterprise B Captain John Harriman?
Pass.
Okay. Which famous real-world figure guest starred as themselves in the Next Generation episode Descent Part 1?
Stephen Hawking?
Correct. How many TNG seasons end with Part 1 of a 2-part story? Might be worth it.
5. No, 4, sorry.
I'll give you that. It's 4. Yeah, you corrected yourself quickly enough. With which medication did McCoy accidentally inject himself during the City on the Edge of Forever?
Pass.
Okay. Which 3 original series characters appear at the start of the movie Generations?
Kirk, Scotty, and Chekhov.
Correct. I don't know why I was asking so many Generations questions at this point, but never mind. What Latin phrase is given to the 2-part conclusion of Star Trek Picard Season 1?
Pass.
Okay. What species are Gwendala and her father on Star Trek Prodigy?
I know this, but I don't. Pass.
Okay. What planet does the Enterprise D saucer crash land on in Star Trek Generations? Again.
Viridian 3?
Correct. What's the name of Picard's clone from Star Trek Nemesis?
Shinzon.
Correct. When Picard is talking Kirk into leaving the Nexus and joining his fight, what 2 words does Kirk claim Spock would call him for taking on the mission?
Illogical human?
Irrational and illogical.
Oh, yeah.
How many Voyager seasons end with part 1 of a 2-part story?
I'm going to go 6.
It's 4 again.
Whoa.
What are Captain Kirk's last words before he dies?
Oh, my.
Correct. What class of starship is the Enterprise F?
Endeavour?
It's Odyssey class. And who directed the movie Star Trek Beyond? I've started, it's all finished. You can answer that, despite the red alert. If you know it.
Pass.
Pass. Fair enough.
I know the first 2 are Abrams, I think. But,
they are, yeah. Well, at the end of that round then, DK, you scored a total of 8 points with 5 passes. So that gives you a total final score, obviously, of 17 points, which, even if we give Vean the benefit of the doubt, definitely beats her 14 points. So I will need a new specialist subject from you for that. But in the meantime, yeah, well done. Congrats. You stormed to victory today. Whether Vean will be happy about that or not is between you and she. But it's been a great episode, and hopefully you've all enjoyed it despite some of the technical difficulties and stuff. So stay tuned. Do come back for our next couple of heats and then the final. And do remember in the meantime that we are Starfleet. Live long and prosper.